Hi everyone and welcome back to Storme Diaries. Today my guest on is Alanna, ain't it? And not
Yeah,
Elena.
I know, and you've got it right.
Yeah,
I
actually.
answer to anything as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you are a mum of two girls who I just met who are absolutely beautiful and they're like the most perfect little girls, aren't they?
Thank you.
So kind. So what is their names and their ages?
So I've got Romilly, and their birthdays are in May, and it keeps throwing me with how
Does
old
it?
they are. God, I think it's just I'm getting old. So Romilly was 12 in May, and Remy was 9 in May. They're a week apart.
Oh, are
So yeah,
they?
there's 3 year gap. Yeah, 3 years gap. But they are amazing kids.
Yeah,
I know
they
everyone
are.
thinks their kids are amazing, but they are really good kids.
Good kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've not actually met you before, but I see your Instagram pop up everywhere. But we'll go into that later. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to start off, like, what was your life like before being a mum? Like, what was your upbringing like?
My upbringing, it wasn't a great upbringing. We grew up on quite a rough council estate. My parents were teenage parents, so my dad was 15 and my mum was 16. She was 16 in the August. I was born in September. So we grew up on quite a rough council estate by teenage parents, which I waited till later in life to have kids.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having a kid at that age when you are just a kid. I don't have any contact with either one of my parents. I've got parent abandonment, which we sort of gloss over that bit. We'll just go through sort of that. So being brought up, my dad was, he just did what he did. I look back and the only thing I'm really glad that I've took from both of them is their work ethic, because they were grafters, they were workers. My dad wasn't very straight-laced. We would have police knocking on the door. We'd have our house raided. He was a bit of a dodgy fella. He'd always had affairs. My mum had put up with it. It was quite a toxic, upbringing, and it was really random. Last week, the kids were walking over the road, and I could hear this woman screaming and round with her partner, and the kids crying, and it really hit me, and it took me back to. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. We grew up where no one really had any money. It wasn't uncommon to wake up to someone crying in the middle of the night, and you'd go downstairs and one of my mum or dad's friends had been beaten up by the other half, and they were having a vodka in the kitchen and they had their face smashed to bits.
Really?
You know, I look back now and I think if that was on the TV, I wouldn't want my kids to see it on the TV. I would flick that over. But then I lived through it. But I was born in 79, so I think that 80s era, that's what it was like. You couldn't get away with that now. But I suppose they'd done the best they could. They were kids that had kids, and that was how we grew up. And I think back in that day, if you grew up in a council estate, that was just sort of how life rolled. And it wasn't until fast forward I had my kids, and then I think it brought back a lot of trauma. So I hadn't spoken to my parents for years and years and years. They were very toxic people. They should have never really had kids. They should have never been together. They separated, and then it was like they sort of forgot that they had kids. They got with new partners that weren't the most nicest of people, and then slowly the disconnection, just completely disconnected from them. So I don't have anything to do with them, and I haven't done since, I suppose, probably 19 or 20. I've bumped into my dad a couple of times over the last couple of years when I've had my grandparents die. But there's nothing there. It sounds really awful, but when I had to deal with it through episodes of my life and went to therapy, I had to deal with, and a lot of people can't get this, I had to go through bereavement counselling.
I could imagine.
To me, they're dead, and that sounds really awful to a lot of people, but I had to have a line where I crossed. My mum had always had new partners, which, again, they didn't want the kids. They wanted, she wanted a life, I think one of the last things I spoke to my mum about is she liked life as it was, uncomplicated. Really? And to me, it's like, I look back now and I think, God, my kids are like my everything. That was sort of the long and short of my childhood.
Yeah.
And then we'll move forward from that. I've always been a grafter. I've always, worked hard. I picked up wrong partners before. I've been divorced before. But I think like the best thing for me, and I think the biggest turning point, or summarise my sort of growing up, is I think the biggest turning point and the best thing for me was saying to my husband then, I want a divorce. That to me was like the best, to say, I want a divorce. I'm not going to put up with this. He wanted kids. I didn't want kids. I knew he couldn't look after me. I wrongly got married. And I actually remember on my wedding day thinking, shit, what have I done? It's too late to get out of this. Yeah, I actually, on my wedding day, I remember waking up and thinking, fuck, you've got to go through with it now. And I knew in my heart, and even through the wedding day, I just remember looking at him thinking, what the fuck have I done? Like, what the fuck have I done? And I was sort of like, I think I was about 25, 26. I was just a kid. And I just thought, shit, I'm here. I'm like, I've got to go through with it.
Yeah.
It only lasted a couple of years. I remember he wanted kids, and I just knew there was something in me that was like, I don't want kids, and I'm not going to be with you forever.
Yeah.
And I think the turning point for me is when I was like, I'm done. He wasn't very nice. He was quite toxic, very toxic, really, and would weaponise my family trauma against me. If the chips were low, we'd go months. The mental abuse was horrific. He just wouldn't speak to me for months. We lived in a house that was silent. He would give me silent treatment. Yeah, it was the nicest of times, but I just woke up one day and thought, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
Like, I want a divorce. And I remember him laughing at me and going, well, who would want you? Like, even your parents don't want you. Who would want you? I was working in the London night scene at the time. I was earning really good money, and I look back now and he was just a drain on me physically and financially. He didn't want me, but he didn't want anyone else to have me. And I think, towards the end, he would spit at me, he would smash up my belongings, he'd do anything to sort of hit me in the jugular, and then was very abusive, psychological. And I think just one day I just thought, I'm done. And it was coming up to my 30th birthday, and I thought, I've got to get out of this. Like, I'd rather be on my own. And it was hard because it meant that I had to go and sleep on people's sofas. I was homeless for a while. But it was the best thing that happened.
Yeah, good for
and then
you.
we literally, after my 30th birthday, it was bizarre. I was at work one evening, and then a guy come in and we got chatting. I thought I knew him from like raving and clubbing. And we got chatting. He went, I'd love to take you out for a drink. And I was like, oh my God, my situation's so complicated.
Yeah.
And he was like, go on, you've got a boyfriend. I was like, no, I've actually got a husband. And he was like, what the fuck? And he went, how old are you? You look so young. I went, I've just turned 30. I went, we're not together though, but we live together. It's really complicated. He went, oh my God, this sounds so complicated. I said, you definitely don't want to take me out for a drink. I said, but it's all done and dusted. Anyway, at the end of the night, he gave me his number. Messaged him a couple of weeks later, and I went, let's maybe go. If you did want to go out for a drink, not too many like red flags. And he was like, yeah, I'd love to go out for a drink. And then we went out for a drink, and then before we knew it, it rolled around to Christmas. Before we knew it, it rolled round, and now we've been together 7. Oh, it's actually brought a lump in my throat. It's actually been together 17 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it's brought a lump in my throat. Sorry. Yeah, just crazy. God, why am I getting emotional? I don't know. It's really hit me, something really emotional. And that was 17 years ago. So I never dreamed that I was ever going to meet anyone. I think the ex-partner had belittled me so much. It would always be, you'll never meet anyone. It was a lot of, just psychological. It was just nasty. But we just weren't meant to be together. And I carried a bit of bitterness for a while. But I just thought, do you know what? I'd rather be on my own than be with you. And then when the crocs come, we separated. Then I met John, and it was very, very rapid. I know when people say they manifest a person in their life, and I didn't manifest anything. Like, there couldn't have been a worse timing that this person just got plonked into my life, and it was just amazing. It was just he absolutely adored me from the get-go. I was probably a very hard person to love because I'd had so much trauma. He's never had trauma. His mum and dad were together. He done uni. He had a really good job. He was just a normal, just nice guy. But I'd always been out with such critters that was my norm. Like, my bar was so low, even though I'd walked away from very toxic and abusive relationships. I was with a guy before the husband, and he was 11 years older. I look back now and he groomed me. The lifestyle was shocking and horrible. I don't even really want to give that any airtime, but it was horrific. So I went out of the fire into the frying pan, and then just woke up and thought, this. There was something in me. I thought, I'm not going to just make do. I'm not going to be like my mum and make do. I'm out of here. But yeah, it was tough times. He got with me, and I really tested him. Because of any time he'd get close to me, I would just do crazy shit as if to say, well, you're going to walk away anyway. I've had it with my parents. I've had it with the exes. If I just push you enough and you go, it's easy. It's really easy for me to say, well, I was right. You were going to go anyway. For me, that was my defence mechanism. I'd had it with friends, I'd had it with family, I'd had it with relationships. When people fucked off or they walked off, to me, it's like, well, I knew you were going to go anyway. I could handle that. But he just literally loved me more and more and more till he just broke me down to sort of see that I was worth something and was worth being with someone like truly amazing. And he really is. We renewed our wedding vows in May in secret. We went to Vegas. It's going to make me cry again. Took the kids. Oh, God, why am I going again? And it was amazing. We renewed our vows in front of both of our girls. And we just done it in secret. We didn't tell anyone. And it was just amazing just to be there as a little four. And now he's got the bug and he's like, we're going to do it every 10 years. Yeah. I think we want a different destination every 10 years. So, and the kids are right up for it. But yeah, that takes me to our romance. We had Romilly 2 years before we got married. And then things changed a lot for me. I suffered really bad with postnatal depression. I struggled, I'll be honest, I struggled bonding with her. I struggled bonding with the lifestyle. I think there was times I was like, I think I was scared as well because I'd always had parents that weren't great. I was like, oh my God, all of a sudden someone passed me that baby. And it was like, oh my God, what if I fuck your life up like my parents have fucked my life up? It hit me really, really hard. I struggled by for a while and then I had to have a lot of psychological reports done, mental health reports. They put me on, I had to go to a mental health unit. I remember going there. It sounds really bad. I remember sitting there with all of these people in the waiting room and thinking, well, no, I'm quite normal compared to these people. I'm not as mad as these. So that's good. You know, like there was me judging my level of madness against other people that I'm sitting with. Like, I don't know who the fuck I thought I was, but I was like, I'm not as crazy as these people. I'm crazy, but I'm not as bad. So they sort of pat me on the way. I think they'd done all the reports to know that I wasn't going to harm my child, but I might harm myself. So I was put on medication. But
what
unbeknownst,
medication was you put
was on sertraline.
Yeah, so I've been on that.
Well, it made me feel better. I was on it for 2 years. I felt better, but I was quite flatlined.
No, I was just numb on it.
Very numb, but because of I felt very horrific to how I felt mentally, that the harm that I was thinking of doing to myself. It was never about the baby, but there wasn't really any connection. Like you could have passed me that book as the baby and I would have never harmed her. I didn't want anyone else touching her. I didn't want anyone else breathing her. I didn't want anyone else changing her butt. I didn't want anyone to do anything with her, but it was like there was a lack of bond there. Like the protection was there, but the numbness, it robbed me of that 2 years. We got married, and I'll be honest, the wedding day was beautiful. The wedding was lovely, but I just felt so shit about myself. I just remember I started coming off the medication because we wanted to try for Remy straight away. And I just remember I hated how I looked. One of my implants had ruptured. And I know this sounds really not cosmetic. Oh, God, what is it?
I know what you mean.
Oh, God, I've lost for words
like
today. Vain. Yeah, it's going to sound really, really vain, but one of my implants had ruptured. I'd had to have my implants out. They couldn't put them back in. I struggled with my weight. I struggled with my identity. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't really fit in anywhere. I was like coming to be a newlywed, but I'd already had the baby first. All my friends are going out and clubbing. My friends from back home that had kids were grown up. And we lived over Canary Wharf and I lived in this little Bermuda Triangle of like, I didn't fit in anywhere. My husband was doing really long hours in the city and I was just with this baby that I actually thought actually hated me because all she'd do is cry all day. And I'd think, oh my God, what the fuck have I done? I've had this baby and I don't know what I've done now. I don't really know who I am. It's so easy to look back now and look at it. So the medication, we come off that, we started trying for Remy, fell pregnant, so lucky I fell pregnant with both my girls literally within like a month or two, and then had Remy, and then they were very aware that I'd had postnatal depression and I had a really good like team behind me, and as soon as that dip come, they were like, yeah, back on the medication. The medication this time, and I look back now, it was quite bad the first time, but the second time was even worse. This flatlined me even more. And then I've got 2 kids that are screaming and a husband that's going in. And then like Remy, I really didn't bond with. I think the first baby, it's all very much the novelty and you got few people around you.
Yeah.
But then you've got 2 kids and then you're run flat. I had a really good job at Citibank when I got pregnant with her, and I loved the lifestyle that I had. It was really buzzy. I felt like I had a bit of life, and got myself back after having Rom. And then all of a sudden I've got 2 kids. I know that I can't afford to go back to work and put 2 in nursery. And I just was a little bit like, oh my God, like, what the fuck have I done? Again, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I was just like the kids' mum. That sounds really bad. The kids' mums. And I just didn't know who I was anymore. I wasn't going to go back to the job that I loved. My husband then had another new job, and he was doing crazy hours. We moved 3 times in 2 years. And I just had to pack us up and move us. And I just flatlined and flatlined and flatlined. I had really bad addictions from both pregnancies. The way the medication had flatlined me, I'd been a functioning addict since I was 14, and I didn't realise that's what I was. So from the age of 14, things had come into my life, and I took things as a crutch, drink and other things to self-medicate. But I'd done that since 14. Yeah. And my mum had put me on slimming tablets from a very young age, which is basically speed. She'd always struggled with her weight. And I remember at 14 going, I'm getting fat. I didn't realise I was just becoming like a little woman.
Yeah.
And she went, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to end up like me. Like you ruined my body. Having kids ruined my body. You need to go on slimming tablets. Like, this is wild. So from like 14, 15, I was on like slimming tablets, which is basically speed.
Yeah.
So for me, where I didn't realise I was ADHD, you have speed, you're actually fine on it. You're actually fine. You're like, yeah, you're really good at cleaning and everything else, but you wouldn't have known that I was on this.
Yeah.
But this, the self-medication over the years, every time that I'd put a bit of weight on, I would go and do that. I'd do lots of crazy shit throughout. I worked in the London nightclub scene. I'd done lots of things over the years that I just done, but I still got up for work the next day.
Yeah.
Didn't have an issue. I'm going to work. I'm clean. I'm tidy. I'm there. You could set your watch by me. I'm never going to let you down. I'm always going to do my shift. I'm never going to be sick. And this is the thing, this is the dangerous thing with ADHD. We can function really well, and addictions is very, very high. I'd say most people that got ADHD are probably a functioning addict or had addictions before. And this is what happened with me. The addictions were through the roof because I had no high or low on the medication. And I wanted that high. I was chasing that high. I'd have a drink and then I'd think, yeah, this is great. But I was horrible when I had a drink. I was vile to John. It was, I look back at it and I was just this volcano that had just been putting on. And then we moved house again and then we went into lockdown. And I think for me, this was the first time in my life where I've always been 100 miles an hour. I've always done a million jobs. I've always worked 7 days a week. I could just function, like high functioning ADHD. It was the first time the world had stopped and I had to stop. This caught up with my brain.
Yeah.
It's going to make me cry again.
You sound exactly like me with lockdown. I worked like 3 or 4 jobs before and I was going crazy. Yeah. And that to me, it was like I could finally relax.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it does open up something inside of you.
It does. But to me, it was Pandora's box. And it was like all of the abuse, the trauma, the past. You know, I'd lived so many lives before I'd met John. You know, I met him when I just turned 30, but that previous before him, like you could have done people always say to me, you should write a book. Yeah, God, even a trilogy wouldn't even scratch the surface of some of the stuff. And I don't want everyone to, I'm not one of the, I hate pity. I don't like people pitying me and I don't want anyone getting their mini violin out, but it was horrific. It was actually horrific. It sounds like something like that Katie Price would come out with. It was so bad. And then I think I bottled it. I'd had therapy before, but I think I would sit in therapy and I think I'd outsmart them. I think, let me tell you what I think you need to hear. Yeah. Let me get out of here because I hated it. The moment I got in there, I'd think, let's just tell them what they need to hear and you'll be out of here as quick as you can. Yeah. We're really good at glazing over things and masking shit. Yeah. And lockdown come and the height of my addictions with everything else, then the suicidal was bad. It was monthly, weekly, and then it became daily. And it was like, it's like my brain just went, we can't cope now because you haven't got lots of things keeping you distracted. And now your brain, your mind, it's just like it opened up the doors and it threw everything at me. Lockdown hit. I hit rock bottom. And I think I was pretty quiet around the time where I'm a very chatty person. That's the dangerous space when I go quiet, really quiet. And I think John could see that we had a lot of pressures when we moved into the new house, and a lot of things were going wrong. And I think he just thought, oh God, she's carrying the stress of things going wrong.
Yeah.
And you never want to say to your partner, like, I just want to end it, or do you know what I mean? I think I just went into myself. The drinking was bad. I was drinking really heavily throughout. Well, he wasn't in lockdown, but it was like a get out of jail free card. I could drink at lunchtime if I wanted to, drink through the day. I'd stuff my face with crisps and shit in the night. Wake up the next day, feel like crap, go again. And it was just, then the suicidal thoughts were just getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And I just felt like I was at breaking point. I'd even written out letters. I planned how I was going to do it. And then something had happened. It was almost like a bolt. And again, I don't really want to talk about this because I've never spoke to anyone about it. But something happened and it sort of shocked me. And everyone who has addictions says you have that awakening. I don't know if I believe in it. I do believe in a sort of high power. I don't know what I believe in, but I do believe in something. Shook me that day to say, you've got to fucking sort this out. You cannot live like this. Something happened that was just really fucking bizarre and I can't explain it. And at the time, there was this online coach I was obsessed with. I kept looking at all these transformations and thinking, wow, these girls look brilliant. And I'd got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I remember in lockdown standing, I had a pair of pyjama bottoms and I couldn't even get them up over my hips. And I thought, I've washed them that many times, I can't even get them up now. And I'd kidded myself. And it wasn't until I got on a set of scales and I went, oh my God. I was like, John, he was like, what? I went, look at what the scales are saying, 12.5 stone. He went, they're not right, babe. I went, I fucking hope they're not right. That was the way I was when I'd had both my girls at full term. I went, no, please God, let them be wrong. I can't be that way. I don't know why it was so swell because I had the bloody mental breakdown. I didn't actually realise. And it was the pyjama bottoms on that last day. I thought, I can't get them over my arse. Fucking hell, they've shrunk. He went, I'll order a new set of scales. Oh my God, he's ordered a new set of scales. I said I was 12 stone 9. I was even heavier on the new scales. And I was like mortified. And that sent me into panic. I thought, oh my God, I could handle it with pregnancy. Yeah. But you've let yourself, I remember getting my belly and looking in the mirror. I thought, and I remember saying to myself, you fucking let yourself get like this. Like, you look disgusting. I looked like I'd aged. I looked disgusting. And I thought, he ain't gonna want to be like. I was just mortified that I'd let myself. I hated myself so much. I remember crying on the phone to my sister. I went, "You're never going to believe how much I weigh," and and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. She was like, "Look, it's really tough in lockdown. No one can do anything at the moment." Yeah. Everything was just getting to me. I was still drinking. That didn't deter me. I was still glugging and eating shit. And I kept seeing this online coach. And again, it was almost like a sign. He just kept, every time I went on Instagram, he was there. And I said to my sister, there's an online coach, and I've just seen he's doing this deal, an offer for like a 10-week plan. But I was out of work, I had no money. Yeah. And she went, I'll pay for it for you. And I was like, no, you can't do that. And my sister was really good to me. She went, no, I will, I'll pay for you. And she paid for me to do it. The plan dropped, and he was very Marmite. You're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. He's very a cooler space. I know
you're talking about. Yeah.
So Scott, I remember signing up and thinking he fucking scares the life out of me, but I need this. Like, this is going to, I've been a serial dieter my whole life, and I thought, this is my last chance. I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to put everything into it. And not only that, my sister had paid for it. I knew that he weren't going to take no shit. John was like, you're lovely. It's just such a great man. You're lovely as you are. You're beautiful as you are. Oh my God, I look like Bride of Shrek. And that man, even now people go, he must love how you look. And I went, but he loved me no different. Yeah. He never looked at me any different. And even if I'd wanted to stay that way, he'd have gone, if you're happy, that's fine. Like, he's a good man. Never ever looked at me any different at all. And we signed up for the 10-week plan. I remember writing out the consultation form to go back to Scott. And then there was a thing about addictions, about substances, about drink. And I remember, 7 days a week, maybe not on a Sunday. And I sent this off to him, and a phone call come through, and it was him. And I didn't think you actually ever spoke to him. Yeah. Because I'd only ever been on like Joe Wicks, and you never speak to Joe Wicks, do you know what I mean? And I just thought he was this sort of Instagram person, but he had a team, and you probably don't even really speak. He probably doesn't even do your check-ins. Yeah. And he rung me, and I nearly died. And I thought, oh my fucking God, he's on the phone. Oh my God, he's actually speaking to little old me. Yeah. And he was like, can I? And he's so straight forward. Can I ask you something? How long have you done this with the drinks and the things that you should not be doing? And no one had ever quizzed me on it. And I was like, and I had to think back to the first time I've taken amphetamines, and I went probably like 14 or 15. And he went, you're lucky to be alive for one. He went, and you do know that you're a functioning addict, don't you? And I'd never heard the term functioning addict. Yeah. And I was like, everything's clean and tidy in my house. No, I'm not that. It's someone on a park bench. They're a druggie. It's a person who's hiding the bottle of gin that Angie wants. Do you know what I mean? You can't say no to. I'm not that. I'm not an addict. And he was like, it's what you call a functioning addict. How long have you been on the mental health medication? 6 years. But you're saying you feel suicidal. Yeah. Okay, we need to get you off this medication. Yeah. And that was a whole like, well, I'm suicidal. I will end up probably killing myself. He went, you've got to put your trust in me. And I remember sitting down with John going, I feel rough. I don't feel great about myself. I think I glazed over how suicidal I actually felt. I think I did say to him, it feels quite bad this time round. And then he was like, listen, if you stop the medication, I'm really scared, babe, because of the days that you have the really bad days, he would cover everything. The days that I couldn't get out of bed, the days that I was fucking nightmare to be around. He would always hold the fort, but they were getting more and more regular. And he was like, I'm scared if you come off that you're going to do something silly. Yeah. Like he's just a coach. Like you've got to listen to doctors. Yeah. And I'm such an advocate for, you cannot just put your trust in doctors. And Scott said to me, you need to put your trust in me. I was like, okay. And at the time in my head, I thought, well, I'm going to kill myself anyway. That was my logical thinking. I'm going to kill myself anyway. So whether I come off the medication or stick on it, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So to me, it was like, I might as well give it up and let's see, because I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. And went to the doctors. They were like, no, we don't want you to come off the medication. He doesn't know any better than us. And I went, I'm going with it. I'm either going to just stop, and I knew it was dangerous, you couldn't stop it, but if I'm going to play them at their own game. And then I went, I will stop the medication. I'll just stop it. If you don't give me a roadmap out, I'm going to just stop it anyway. So, and then I think they got scared. They went, okay, we're going to write you a 10-week withdrawal. So I went back to him. He went, well, this works out great because you're starting with me for 10 weeks. You're coming off of that for 10 weeks. He went, but you must promise me you're not going to touch any of the stuff that you're addicted to. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not addicted to it. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. So I went cold turkey on everything. Because I knew I had to check in with him each week. I've got friends. I go to meetings. I go to the room. I go to AA and other groups. Once a month I do it now, but I never did that to get off of it. The fitness was my thing. And at the time, I check in with him every week because I thought, God, if I can't lie on this check-in, one, I'm a grown-ass woman, shouldn't be bloody lying. And two, I need the accountability. And every week, I lost a bit more weight. I remember doing the check-in photos, and even my skin, and John going, God, your skin looks really good. Oh, you look really good. And I had all this food. He was like, you're never going to eat all this food. I went, oh, no, I'm never going to eat all this food. I've never ate because I just picked and ate shit forever. And all of a sudden, I'm eating food that is now fueling me. I'm not starving myself on slimming tablets. I'm not going months without eating and, doing wild things with my eating. And slowly and surely, I think by the time it got to like week 3, it was like this Tetris block went, I thought, I fucking feel really nice. Really? It was horrific. Because I was clucking for everything. Yeah. There weren't a day that went by that I didn't think you could go and do that and you could do it, and you've pulled the wool over one's eyes. I'd lied to John, I'd lied to family, I'd lied to friends. Yeah. No one knew the shit I was getting up to behind the scenes. Yeah.
Also, how did you feel coming off the sertraline? Because even
horrific.
I didn't take it. It was giving me like I was having headaches. I couldn't see properly. Even that in itself is hard. Let alone all the other stuff that you're stopping.
I don't know what it was in me, but it was the light bulb moment. And I felt, and even I do online coaching now, and even when people go, oh, I've been a bit peckish this week. Oh, week 2, it's really hard. I think, fucking hard. You haven't got, you do, and like, I'm not being a topper, but when you're like, you're never going to outdo me with my starting point. You're just on a diet plan. Yeah. Suck it up. Coming off of that, there wasn't a bit of me that didn't hurt. There wasn't a bit of me that wanted to do all the crazy shit to just numb the feeling. Because then all of a sudden I started feeling. And then that was scary because I'd been numb for so long. But then all of a sudden it was like, wow, you've got feeling. Even like to my finger, it's like I had feeling back in my fingers. And until you've been on that medication, it's done that to you. You can't explain that to people. It was mad. And then I think by week 5, I was like, I'd lost quite a good bit of weight. And I remember going and doing a run, and the first week I was on Scott's, I fell over at the end of the road, scraped on my hands, because I'd done running before, the kids, and I'd done a marathon, and not amazing time, but I'd always been I'd done sporting things, I could always push myself. And I remember going, the run plan, I'm going to go and do the run plan. I'm literally 2 minutes up the road, stacked it, went down like a sack of spuds, scraped my knees, scraped my hand. That was another moment when I grabbed myself and was like, you're fucking useless. You're fucking useless. Like, your husband will want to leave you. You like look at what you can't even run to the end of the road. And then by week 5, I'd like dropped a stone and a half. Amazing. And I thought, I feel really good. And the sun was coming up and I was thinking, oh, the sun looks really beautiful today. Oh, the sun feels nice on my face. And that medication has stopped all of that.
Really?
Like, I think unless you've been on it and it's done that.
Yeah.
And then a turning point, it's going to make me go again. I'm such a fucking tiny tears. Remy come running towards me and hugged me. And I just felt the love in her. I felt her.
Me cry.
I'm so sorry. I hadn't felt the love in my kids. You know, I was so protective of them, but it was like it cut me off from all feeling. And I'm so sorry making you cry. And just a little hug and her little hands. And I was like, oh my God, like this feeling is why I've got to keep going. Like I've been numb. Medication has stripped me of 6 years of loving my kids, like feeling that hug and feeling that warmth. It was fucking mad. And I was just like, I've got to just keep going. I've got to keep going. And it was a real turning point, even to a point we were like mucking about in the kitchen, we were doing something, and this is going to sound terrible. I laughed so hard that I wet myself. I laughed, belly laughed. And John looked at me and he went, oh my God, it's so good to have you back. Oh, thank you, Reggie. I'm so sorry. I'm such lovely tears today.
Because I know what that feels like.
It's horrible, isn't it? It was, you know, and how he, you know, I obviously I loved him and obviously I loved the kids. But when you've had that numbness for so long, it's such a dangerous place to be in. And I thank God that I got on this plan. To me, diet and nutrition, it's so easy to look at me aesthetically and the goals I've gone on to do. But for me, I'm such an advocate for get out in your back garden. I had no equipment. I had nothing to throw at this but to go and eat food that was going to fuel me. He'd put me on a high-fat diet with ADHD. Fucking loved it. I was like a fat-burning machine because I felt amazing. Every time I went outside and done a workout, I'd cry because I hate myself and I was shit, and I'd see myself in my dirty old windows, everything just joggling and shaking and doing fucking star jumps and thinking, oh, look at you. Look at you. You know, like I hated what I see in the mirror. And then by 10 weeks, I'd lost 2 stone. I'd kicked the medication. I'd stopped all the shitty little fucking crutches that I was been using since 14. I actually really like myself. I love my kid. I like the love that I had back for the kids. John, I was just like, oh, like I've always loved him so much, but now I was just like, wow, like I'm feeling again. Like this feels fucking amazing. It was just things that started getting back, and I was like, I've been numbed for this for 6 years. I still feel quite bitter that I was robbed of them 6 years. But this is why we live life so fast as we do now. We want to get married. We're going to do a wedding renewal. We're going to go and do a wedding renewal. We're going to go and have another holiday. We'll go and do another holiday. I live for today now. I lost 6 years, and I'm never getting them years back. But I will fucking make up for it now. I will make up for it and do so much with my kids. But yeah, we come out of lockdown. I carried on with the plan. I was like, I'm going to do another 10 weeks. And then I've done another 10 weeks. And then people around me, you're getting obsessed now. You're obsessed with losing weight. Don't you think you've done enough now? You don't need Scott. Why do you not just do it on your own? Don't you think you've lost enough? Is he telling you that you've got to lose all of this weight? But I had in my head of a weight that I wanted to get to before I'd met John. And I just kept pushing. I just kept saying, Scott, do you think I could get to there? And he was like, yeah, but it will take time, and you know, it will get harder. And when the gyms open up, we need to get you into a gym. There's only so much that you can do now in your back garden. And we did this, and it was it's a crazy burning desire. I grew up in like the Gladiator era, where it was Gladiators, and Saturday night you'd sit and watch Gladiators. And I remember when I was really sporty at school, and I remember we had a little gym, and it used to have all the fitness magazines, you know, and I'm talking 90s fitness. They had the big hair, and they were like the neon outfits, and had the bodybuilders. And I always just look at them and think, oh, I'd love to look like that. I'd love to be bodybuilding. And back then, bodybuilding, you know, like it was all just like the Arnolds and Arnie sorts. It was just, that's how I grew up. And I'd always had this really weird desire that I wanted to do a bodybuilding competition. And anyway, fast forward, we'd got to nearly a year on plan, and I went to do I had in my head I wanted to do a photo shoot, a fitness photo shoot. I'd seen this guy online, and I said to John, I want to do that. When I've lost all this weight, that's going to be my goal. And he went, all right then. And I found this guy again was doing a special offer on a photo shoot because was coming out of lockdown. And I went, I'm going to sign up. It's probably the only one I'm going to be able to afford to get these photos done. So anyway, we got me like photo shoot ready, and Scott like worked his butt off to get me ready. And I remember driving down to Bournemouth, it was pissing with rain. John probably think I'd lost my fucking mind. And the kids all packed up with the car. It pissed with rain the whole time. On the way down, I'm thinking, I spent all this money on my hair and my makeup. And I remember John, every Saturday, John takes my check-in photos of me to send to Scott to check in. And I remember I'd had all my tan and my makeup done, and I'd done something, and he made me laugh. And he went, oh my God. He went, you got a six-pack? I went, I haven't. He went, you have. Do that, like crunch down, but breathe in and breathe out. And I'd done that, and all of a sudden this six-pack come, and I'd always hated my bum and legs. I'd actually forgot about the ab bit. And when I laughed, I went, oh, I've got a six-pack. I remember going down to this photo shoot like that, going, oh, like I felt like cock of the walk. And I remember getting to this photo shoot, and it was... The rain had lifted, but the photos were so effective. The rain had stopped, and we got there, and then it was our wedding anniversary and the kid's birthday. And I went to him. I went, I haven't got a clue. I photo shoot. How long have we got here? He went, well, you take it in turn because it's a group shoot, one a shoot, and then I went on because we booked a restaurant at like 12, and like me and my husband and the kids. It's our wedding anniversary. He went, oh, you're giving me the hurry up now, and he was quite like arty, the guy. I went, oh, if we could. Anyway, he went, have you done any photo shoots before? I went, no. Anyway, we just went bump, bump, bump. He went, you remember looking at the photo? He went, you're real natural for this. Really? And I went, this was me last year, and I showed him my fat photo, and he just went, oh my God. I went, no, this has been a year's journey. And he went, darling, you look fantastic. Go on, let me get all your photos. You need to celebrate today. And then he like softened to me a bit, took some amazing photos, and the kids just like, go mummy, like there's me changing into a bikini behind a towel and going out. And I just remember driving by and John going, I'm really proud of you. And the photos come back, and I was like, wow. But some of the girls on the photo shoot were like, are you a lifting girl? And I was like, what's a lifting girl? They were like, oh, do you do bodybuilding? I went, no. And they went, well, you should, because you look fantastic. And I was like, oh, but... And I just remember, I went, a couple of the girls, he went, babe, yeah. He went, maybe they'd be nice. I went, I've got a six-pack now, And I remember coming and ringing Scott. I went, I really want to do like a bikini bodybuilding show. And he went, yeah, you could. And Scott being Scott, you could, but it'll take a while. You have to, you're very, very lean. We need to build you up, build a bit of muscle. I look back now, and I was so naive. I actually thought I was hot to trot. I didn't realise I had fuck all muscle. I just got really skinny, and we actually needed to build some muscle, which was going to take way longer. And this was in the May. And then I think it got to like August. I found one that's Waltham Abbey. It's only up the road. Should we just do it as a toe dip? Because I'm one of these people, I have to have a date locked in to work towards. And he went, I think it's a bit premature, Alanna. He went, I'll be honest, I think you'd be better just waiting a bit. Yeah. And I thought, fuck, I'm not fucking waiting. Like, I've fucking lost 6 years of my life. I'm fucking not waiting for no man. I went, all right, I've entered it anyway. I don't really want to lose my money. And I think Scott was just going, oh my God, this girl hasn't got a fucking clue. She's got fuck all muscle, but she's got some confidence. Yeah. And I was just like, I think because I've been so trapped with that medication, I was like, time's waiting for no man. I'm fucking doing it. And I did. I went and done it, and I won first place in done 3 categories. I come first and 2 seconds. Amazing. I was featured in the Daily Mail. They picked up my story, and I just remember getting up there, and the kids, they got the kids. I won like a fit mums category. They got the kids up. Oh, it broke my heart. It literally broke my heart. I'm going to not cry. And I promise not to cry anymore. Broke my heart. The kids come up and have the photo took of me. Yeah.
How important is that for the kids to see you now?
Do you know what? Me and John do have this conversation a lot, and I worry about the remembering the dark days. And he was like, to be honest with you, babe, every year it gets further and further away. They've never not had a loving home. Me and John have never been an argumentative couple. People probably think that we lie about how perfect we actually do get on, and we really do. Yeah. They've never grown up with not having love or a toxic household. I probably went a little bit quiet and a little bit into myself, and I think he says that. He was like, you just weren't very verbal. Yeah. He went, I look back now, and he feels very guilty for how the medication made me feel. And this will teleport back to when we get up to sort of Christmas this year where the perimenopause hit. Oh God, just have a great life as women, don't we? Yeah, it's not all singing into the sunset. Come off that competition and was high as a kite. I was like, oh my God. And then my Instagram just started getting really busy, and people going, can't believe, like, you're just a normal mum. And my thing was, I'm just a normal mum getting shit done. Yeah. I didn't really vlog a lot back then. I used to take little videos of me at the gym and doing a few little bits and bobs. And John always used to say to me, oh babe, can't you just go and do a workout without filming bits? And I went, but there was something in me, the reason, it was like my accountability. If I filmed it and put it on Instagram, it was like, I've been there and I've done it and I've done my thing. But the following got bigger and bigger throughout that. And then it was other women going, oh God, then I started sharing my backstory a bit. But Instagram, isn't really like it is now. So go back 6 years ago, it was and I didn't really know much about Instagram, so I just used to vlog my journey. And then after that first competition, it did start to go a bit mad. Then I was on a podcast with Scott, saying about the backstory, and then it just went quite wild. And then I just started competing. I come off that competition, I went, I want to do another one. And I handled the prep really well because of the ADHD and the structure to prep. And the high functioning, I start ticking boxes. If I get to the evening and Scott went, right, you still got to go and walk another marathon at 10 at night, I go, all right then, and off I go. Yeah, like the more you throw at me, the more I'm like, all right then, all right then. When things are calm, like the summer holidays are calm, I'm like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm the worst place to be in because I'm like, I need that like 100 things thrown at me. And then, we just started bouncing off shows really. We'd compete, we'd have 6-8 months off, build a bit of muscle, go again. I think the sort of second season going into it, so I've done really well on them. Second season going into it, I had the worst hit. I did this federation I was obsessed with, and it was more of a fitness federation. The bikinis were quadruple the price, the stakes were a lot higher, and then I had quite a good following on Instagram. Then everyone wants you to win. Everyone thinks you look the greatest, but they don't realise that everyone who's there has all done exactly the same as you, but they just watching your journey. And it was a little bit of a fix. I didn't realise how only certain coaches' girls were going to win because, again, I was quite naive and I threw so much money at this bloody event. I skinted myself out so bad, but it was like, that was the epitome. We even had my brother-in-law's wedding the day before. I remember going to the wedding and having to run up to the room and weigh my cod out and eat the cod and then go back down to the wedding. Yeah, and it was just like we couldn't stay the wedding night. We couldn't do the bit afterwards. You know, like I was so tunnel visioned of what I wanted to do. And I went there and it was a big old flip-flop. And I think I won a transformation. I come like fourth, got this pony shitty little trophy, and I just thought it was such a fix, and it really fucking hit me. And I thought, oh my God, like I could feel my morale go down. And then I just thought, no, do you know what? I rung Scott up. I went, there's a competition next Saturday. I'm going to do it. I went, I'm not going to be defined by this show. I was like, because it was such a fucking fix.
What did he say to
And he went, well, go on then. He went, but you can't have your off-plan meal tonight. Are we locking in? You've got 5 days to keep that peak. I went, oh yeah. I was like, I had the grit between my teeth. I didn't speak to anyone for a week. I just went underground, turned up at this show, and there was loads of the people from the previous show. What are you doing here? I thought, I don't need to tell you what I'm up to. And I turned up and I won all 3 categories.
Did you?
Yeah, got a triple win. And this was a proper bodybuilding competition, which I turned up and thought, I had to learn a whole new routine. And it was just, you're judged on your body, not about your fucking... You spent $1,000 on your bikini, and I come out a triple win. Like I didn't even have anyone come and see me because I thought if I fail, everyone come to this first show. They'd all spent their money. I wanted to die. I remember coming off stage thinking, I want to fucking throw myself off a mountain. I'm so embarrassed. I felt like I'd let everyone down, and everyone there went. You could see this was heavily fixed. Alanna, like you should have. This is crazy. So I just went stealth mode. I think people were messaging John going, where's she gone? What's happened? And then just popped up at this little competition. I went to John and John went, right, we'll do this with the kids. I went, no, I'm not having none of you. Don't waste the kids' time. They've seen mummy fail. No, I'm going on my own. And then one of my friends went, well, listen, you can't drive. I'll drive you down there. I went, all right then. And she was just vlogging back to everyone. And I come out with a triple win with 3 fucking medals. That wasn't enough for me. I was then going to go again the next weekend. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go and do another one.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did. And then I got a win. Yeah, I got 3 wins and a second. I went and done Miami Pro. And it was like, I think it proved to me, nothing is linear. And you're not always going to win in everything in life. But don't ever be judged by the trenches. It doesn't matter how, like that was, honestly, it fucking crucified me. That was like the biggest knock to the jugular. But I was just like, no, let me see how much I can push myself. Even now, I've got to push myself. And I've never really looked back. It's like my 3rd or 4th season now. And bodybuilding is just life. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I could wake up next year and go, I'm done with it now. Like last year, I went, I'm going to give it up. I'm going to go back to running. And John went, I never put my foot down. But I put my foot down this time. You ain't. You love bodybuilding. You're good at it. You're not giving up.
So he's really supportive of it. Oh, bless you.
It's a wild, weird habit and hobby, but I love it. Absolutely love it. It's been the making of me. And then I think after doing the first set of comps, people kept messaging me going, if you'd done coaching, I'd come and do it with you. And the timing for it couldn't have been worse. And I just thought there was something in me that when you've got to go back. So I went back and done my qualification. I think I was 42. Went back, drove up to Manchester, done all my exams, sailed through, got a job at a local gym after my full qualification, then started working with Scott online. So now we work together. He was just my coach and now he's like my work partner. And And it's mad. And it's mad to think that I inspire women to go, doesn't matter what your goal is, ignore the bodybuilding, but you can start from the ground up.
Yeah.
I had nothing to throw it. I had no money. I was food shopping in Aldi. I was still food shopping in Aldi. I had nothing to give it. I was training in my back garden, just body weight. Like people underestimate just eating the right things and moving daily and just getting out in the sun daily.
Yeah.
You don't need no more than that.
Yeah.
My friends all had money. They could all go this one and that one and Barry's, and they had money to throw at it and they had the time to do it. And I begrudged them a little bit with that. But what I built was from nothing. And I like to be the USP for women to think you can. If you're not feeling great, if you're not skipping out of bed daily, there's something. There's things underlining, but you got to look at if you've been put on medication, is it serving you? And this will wrap me up to past Christmas, the dark clouds. And the dark cloud does come over. I suffer with mental health. It's always going to be there. It will come every now and then, but when it comes, it's like that fucking, and it doesn't matter how much I'm training, how much I ramp the training up, how much I get to bed, it is over. You could, when them black clouds are coming over, you could say you got the winning lottery numbers, nothing's getting me out of that. John's really good with helping around that time. And then at Christmas, something just didn't feel right. So I went to, I said to John, I feel like I'm slipping back. I feel like I'm going back to the postnatal.
It's good for you to notice that, and acknowledge it, because not everyone does.
No,
do they?
But he did say to me, he went, I feel like it's polar in that.
Yeah,
he's like, and I have my blood work done regularly anyway. I went to, my friend had been going to a menopause doctor. Went to see her. She went, yeah, we need to put you on. That's all perimenopause, all normal. We're going to put you on X, Y, Z. And I said, well, I must tell you, I can't have anything with hormone in me. This and that
for the bodybuilding.
For the no, because that's what was in me before. Sorry, I've skipped past this. If I had a contraception, it used to throw me. I used to be like an absolute psychopath.
Really, yeah.
So any contraception would make me a Looney Tune. John had a vasectomy, so that was that. Yeah. And then I said to her, I can't go back to that. I said, I can't have anything with hormone in me. It will make me loopy. But she was like, no, we need to put you on estrogen, and we put you on this, that, the other. Oh, okay. Put me on that. I flatlined again. I went suicidal again. No. After 4 weeks, I thought the dark thoughts were back. Yeah. And it was, again, I went very, very quiet. And John was like, this is back to how you were. He went, and I can see it so clearly now. Like you're not functioning as you. I went and had more blood.
Sorry, what are the symptoms of perimenopause?
Forgetfulness, I was really tight, like super fatigued. Like, and I'm not even in the bodybuilding prep. You know, when you're like really tired, I was really ratty. It constantly felt like PMT, but it just wasn't lifting. But like extremes of it, and I was feeling really negative about everything in life. Just really negative, really down, very snappy. Just not me again. And then I went and had my blood work done privately, and then I wasn't producing any testosterone. So I go back to the menopause doctor and I went, listen, I've got to stop this medication. I'd gone all over Christmas. We'd done some beautiful things over Christmas, took the kids Euro Disney. We'd gone and done lovely stuff. I remember just being in Euro Disney thinking, I cried before we'd left.
Really?
Like I thought, oh my God, I feel terrible. Like I felt so bad. I didn't want to project it on everyone around me. I'm trying to be happy. And the more you pretending and masking, the more it's like you just literally got you in a chokehold. Yeah. And I went back to her, I'm not producing any testosterone. I need testosterone. They don't want to give it to you. This is another thing. I really want to sort of get into more about this and why we can't get it as women. Yeah. You know, you're trying to pump me up with these. And all she said to me is, go away. You need to up your dose on this, up your dose on that. And I was like, but that's all come back all right. And that is like, there's nothing showing on the gauge. There's no testosterone there. Yeah. The sense would say to do that. No, we don't normally do this. And I went, I don't mean to sound like an absolute prick, but I'm not normal. I'm not your normal case. My diet's on point. My exercise is on point. Like my fitness level, you're not going to get a fitter 46-year-old than me. And
but most people would just accept that.
Yeah, they would. And the more I talk about it, the more people go to me, I never thought I could say no. Yeah. And all my clients that come to me go, I feel exactly like you do. I feel shit. I went, why are you still taking it then? Went back to her, I went, I'm going to stop taking it. She went, I wouldn't advise it. I'd already stopped 2 days beforehand because I thought, no way. I know me. We'll stop this. Or I'll go on another couple of runs this week and just run it out of me. Yeah. And already I started a placebo effect, but already felt like, right, back in my control now. And she didn't want to, she then spoke to some specialists. She went, we don't normally do this. She went, but like you say, you're not normal. You're not like everyone else. I thought, I'm not. Like, I looked at this woman, I'm not being horrible. I thought, if you're meant to be the vision USP for your product, you freaking ain't. Yeah. The woman was telling me she hasn't exercised in years. What, and you're giving me advice? Yeah. No, sorry. And then give me the testosterone. After I come off my show prep, started that. Oh my God, life's never been so fine and dandy.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, it's such a major thing that women, they just don't want to give it out.
No.
But it's like a lifeline. If you're not producing testosterone, there's going to be no sex drive. There's going to be like, you're feeling like shit. You're just, there's nothing there. And you just literally, pea-sized amount of this gel on has been literally like, John thinks it's like Christmases and birthdays all rolled into one, because it's like you've gone back in time without too much detail. Yeah. But I feel like 21 again. And everyone keeps saying to me, you look so good. I've had to stop my Botox because I'm having some surgery done. Yeah. I've had to let everything go back to natural, so I'm not feeling so confident about myself.
You still look amazing.
But everyone keeps saying to me how great I look. And isn't it amazing? Just because I wasn't having any bloody testosterone in my body. So
the thing is, though, then you've got perimenopause, then you've got menopause.
Yeah. Because it's all going to come so lovely my way. So
women, like, what we have to do
I'm like, dodging bullets. It's like, right, you're going to get through postpartum, and then you're going to claw yourself out, and you're just going to feel good for 2 years. We'll let you have that, and then we're going to slap you with a perimenopause. Go and deal with that. But I feel, God touch wood, I'm in such a fortunate position now to know my body. And again, it comes back to the women that watch me. Diet and exercise will give you your foundation. And then when you've got this shit coming your way, you should know yourself of how you feel. Drugs ain't always going to sort it out. Taking just a tablet isn't always going to sort it out. You should feel ready to go, do you know what, I'm going to stop that treatment. A bit like people keep saying to me, would you not go on ADHD medication? Hell no. Hell no. It's never, I quite like just being a bit of a lunatic, and I like it being my USP, and I like it being my spark. I worry that if I went on it, it might dull the voices down. I might be more proactive with a lot of things when I've got 100 tabs open and focus just on one. But I worry that it will lose the drive when I do show prep, and you've got to have something. You need that bit of autism or ADHD. We all are. When we stand up, when we're all backstage and we're getting ready to go on, we've all got the tisms. We've all got we're all exactly the same, because you couldn't do it. Normal people couldn't do what we do and put themselves through the trenches and still come out going, loving it. Yeah. Like, you've starved me, you've thrown me in the trenches, and then I'm just going to come out and sparkle for like 3 minutes of showtime. Like, we've got to be fucking mental wanting to do that, but we all do it. So even with that, I've got friends that have gone on ADHD medication, and they've just gone, it's like Drop Dead. Do you ever remember that film, Drop Dead Fred?
Yeah, I loved that film.
But Jane, you remember that film that they just kept giving her the medication, and it really come to me the other day, and I thought, oh my God, it's like Drop Dead Fred. Everyone just wants to take a tablet these days and be numb. But I'm like, no, I want to be living. I've got so many goals of when I turn 50, massive goals in fitness, and I'm like, I'm going to bloody get there. Yeah. I'm going to get there. Like,
I don't doubt it.
No, nothing's slowing me down. Yeah. And I think this is a really important message to women that are on. Yeah. If you're taking this medication, if they're putting you on ADHD medication and it's just making you a shadow of yourself, if you're on antidepressants, it's making a shadow. What harm have you got saying, right, I'm going to come off of this now and give it a couple of, obviously come off it the proper way, don't just do what I do and just be feral. Then have a little breather. How do I feel now? Do I feel worse or do I feel better? Because once you're on this shit, they don't ever want you to come off of it. No. And you're locked in, because so many people, and I said about this, they went, what, you stopped the estrogen and the progesterone? Yeah. What, you just stopped it? Yeah, but go to the doctors. How are you feeling since you've been on it? I feel terrible, I just want to sleep. Well, then stop it. Get moving, get your diet sorted out, then get out every day. Tell me how you feel after 10 weeks. Because I'm telling you now, you'll feel a million times better.
Yeah. I do think that is the problem nowadays. Yeah. The doctors are just, they just categorise something and they just throw things at you, don't they? And they don't actually look into it how they should do.
No, not at all. No. And I think with the women with the postnatal, there's not enough. ADHD, everyone's got ADHD now, some version of it. But if they actually scratch the surface of women after they've had babies and looked into it a little bit more, the ones that go into the really bad postnatal depression, I think there needs to be more there. with doing the ADHD. You should automatically be tested for ADHD because if they're going to put you on them tablets and you are going to flatline something rotten, and it's a vicious circle. I've got people, they've been on antidepressants ever since the kids are fucking 20 and they're still on the antidepressants from 20 years ago, but they're told that don't want to come off that.
I knew that I had postnatal depression, but I was too scared to tell the midwife because I'd previously had depression and I'd been on sertraline before. I was so scared to tell them because I thought they might take my baby off of me.
Yeah. But I think, again, and this is it with a lot of medication. I think for me in the beginning, I was just, that very first with Romilly, when I was going to sit in the mental centre and I'm there and I'm being assessed and I can see the woman ticking. Is she clean? Is she tidy? Is she, the stereotypical tick, 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 like I say, very good at masking and being presentable. I've done that my whole life. Didn't actually know what was going on here. Inside I'm thinking, baby hates me. Baby fucking hates me.
Yeah.
All baby does is scream.
Yeah.
She don't like me. Oh my God, what have I done having a baby? Yeah. I'm going to ruin her life like my parents ruined mine. They're not seeing that. They're just going, okay, well she looks perfectly turned out. Oh, baby's very clean. Tick.
Yeah.
It's so old fashioned how they do the things now. And they make women feel vulnerable because the first thing is you're going to think, well, they're going to take the baby off me.
Yeah.
I'm the USP for going against the grain and not being scared to. And like I say, once I come off that medication and started on with the testosterone, and again, it isn't one size fits all. Yeah. But I was confident in myself to say, no, you're not going to just tick list me and go what we normally do. Like I say, I'm not your normal. What are you basing this on? Yeah. Like, I know me and this isn't good. Yeah. And even for John was like, I feel like I'm losing you again. Yeah. I feel like you're getting quieter and quieter and you're, it was, it wasn't great.
So going on to you and John, like I see that not that long ago you went Ibiza together. Do you think that it's so important to have time, just you two?
Oh, God, yeah. And we've always dated. He's just like the most dreamiest. I could just gush about him all day. And, people probably think, oh, yeah, I bet she's making it up. But he really is like my everything, my hero. He's the most amazing dad. He's the most perfect life partner. And we've always done dates. We've always, even when, we've always done dates. And do you know what? In 17 years, he's never told me where we're going to go on a date.
Someone actually told me to get you on here.
Oh, did they?
And they said her husband takes her on dates all the time and he surprises her and don't tell her where it is. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, how amazing is that?
I know, he still does that. And it's not always elaborate. Like, it might just be, I don't know, but really good dates as well.
How cute is that?
No, I know. Like, God, little people would go, but I don't care. Like, when we first started dating, we booked to go to Malaysia to see the orangutan. And I remember him meeting me in the city. And just as I went to get in the taxi, he went, oh, no, you're going to hear where we're going. And he made me stand on the curb and he ran up, told the guy where we're going. And he took me to late night London Zoo. And we went to silent disco. Because I think I'd said to him, I've never been to a silent disco. Yeah. This is going back 17 years ago. And we pulled up at Regent's Park. We went to the silent disco and he took me to see the orangutans. And then somehow he'd found this Malaysian restaurant in Camden and took me for a Malaysian. And like, he was like, because we're going to go there in October, like it was one of our like first big holidays together. He went, so I thought we'd just do a taster of it before we go and do all of them things. Yeah. Like, I remember when we were getting married, I'd watched this programme on the bride and I went, oh my God, that bride dress shop looks amazing. And then 2 weeks later, he'd organised my bridesmaids to come and meet me. He'd got a chauffeur-driven car. And then he took me to the exact place what I'd seen on the TV. He rung up the production company to find out where it was.
Did he?
And and like it took me for a dress fitting. Yeah. Like, just go and try dresses there.
Oh, how amazing
it won't always be wild like that. It might be little things.
No, but it's the thoughtful.
But so thoughtful. And he really will be like, oh, he'll find like a new restaurant that's open up or this or that or the other. It's just really cute. And what we really do, we probably chat about the kids the whole bloody night. Yeah. But we still date. And he always says he just wants to date. The way he dates me is like he's still trying to get me. In the early days, I mean, I still think of like, like I want to be my girlfriend. I want to, like, he's so romantic and dreamy like that. And then even coming up to the 10-year anniversary, I didn't have a mum. I think this affected me a lot as well. When I'd done the dress trying on when we got married before, because I hated the implants had come out, my body looked like crap. I remember going for the dress fitting and not feeling very confident. And when you go to the dress fitting, they always go, is your mum going to come and see you in your dress? And again, it would be like, it really hit me hard. And we had Romilly when we first got married. And then there's a photo of us on the thing. And Remy goes, where was I? Was I in your tummy? And we laughed. She'd come a year later. I went, yeah, you was in my tummy. I went, but we will do our wedding vows again one day. It's just us little four. So it's always been one of them things. And then before I started going into the crux of the downhill slide before Christmas, that was the other thing. John kept going, are we going to get this booked in? Are we going to nail this? Are we going to get it locked in?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't mind. He was like, that's when I knew, like, you
That's
just,
not right.
weren't right. So he planned nearly everything for Vegas. He planned nearly
did
everything.
he?
We had a friend who does a travel agent. He was in liaison with her. He'd done everything. And the one thing for me is I wanted my girls to come and try the dresses on with me. Yeah. This is going to make me really fucking emotional. And I remember going to one place and then the girls there, and I remember them pulling back the curtain and they would screamed, oh my God, Mummy, you look so beautiful. And they're like my biggest little cheerleaders. And even the women went, oh my God, this is just so beautiful. Aww. And they really were. And they were so like hyped up and lovely. Yeah. I felt like they gave me that moment back. Like I felt like the renewal gave me a lot of moments that we didn't have before, which more fundamentally for me, I felt like it was healing me some more. And I always wanted Romilly to walk me down the aisle, again, because I've got no dad to walk me down the aisle. I was going to walk on my own or walk with Romilly. She fell asleep just as we'd got to the wedding venue, and she was at terrible two's age, and my friend went, you're either going to wake her, she's going to be a fucking horror, or she's going to be all right. She went, Alanna, I wouldn't take the risk. And we'd had a few things go wrong before the wedding, and she went, I really wouldn't take the risk. I went, okay. We'd have people let us down, all sorts. And I went, okay. And then John's dad, I went, would you better walk me down there? And he went, of course I would. But his sister was only getting married a couple of months later. And I felt, not that they're like that at all, I felt like I was walking down with her dad before she'd had her big moment. I felt really weird over it. And he went, cool, you can't walk on your own. And he walked me down there and it was lovely. But it didn't really mean, like, I did want my little girls to walk me down the aisle. And it was just these little things. And I said to him, if we get married again, I just want you to, I'm going to go again. Yeah. Walk me down the aisle. Right, let's get through this bit and not cry. That to me was a major thing. And John, even with the dress, I went, I'm only just going to buy an off-the-peg dress. I'm just going to get something off ASOS. I'm going to, oh, mate, no. I ended up having the most expensive dress. And one of my clients went, come and see me. She went, that's how much it is. I went, oh! That's like half the wedding renewal. And she'd done me, like, so many people were like, I'm going to do, because I knew it was all a surprise, she went, I'm going to do you a trade, like, so some really lovely people. And I come out of the wedding dress shop, I went, I fucked the budget. I went, there's me going ASOS and a fucking pair of whatever. And he went, go on. I went, he went, have whatever you want, babe, whatever makes you feel good. I went, it's beautiful, beautiful. And
it did look beautiful.
Oh, I just felt insane in it. And just have him there. And the fact that we went away and no one knew, I just loved it. Yeah. I just loved that we were like, and he was such a good sport because he doesn't really like...
the TikToks.
The TikToks. Yeah. He doesn't really... He's got 3 people on Instagram. Any photos that he's got on there, I look like Bride of Shrek. I've got like an angle or like half an eye open, or he's got a photo of the dog's arse. Like John don't do social media, and I find that quite attractive as well. I don't get men that do social media. And... he was up for it. I went, I've got this content creator. He went, oh, fucking hell, babe. I went, oh, no, she's going to just do it behind the scenes. I don't want anyone on their phones that day. He went, whatever you want, Av, darling, whatever you want, Av. So this, honestly, I think it actually cost more with us going away, the 4 of us, than it did our original wedding. Did you? Yeah, I just was just like, Av, whatever you want, whatever's going to make you feel so special. So we're just lovely. And that moment we pulled up and the kids walked me down the aisle. It got me. And we all wrote our own speeches. We all wrote our own speeches. And his was beautiful. The girls, Remy didn't want to do one. And then on the morning, she went, I want to do one now. I went, okay then. And everyone, they all got emotional. And I just thought that's so precious for them girls to see us. Like, and they do. If we're like hugging it, they're like, oh, they're always hugging. Oh, he's always smooching at. Oh. And I think, what a nice way to be. And like, where he is just so freaking amazing, I think that's so important because no one's going to come close to him. They're not going to be. He's set the bar so high. He's not going to be like me, like lower than low, settle with any waif and straight. And always attracted needy people who I was going to rescue and look after. Fuck that. Having an independent man wins all day, pisses all over that. But he set that bar so high that they are going to be like, what? Have you met my dad? Like, have you met, like, that's how he treats my mum. That's how he looks at my mum.
That's
like,
what I want.
Yeah, that's it. He always holds my hand. He's always there for me.
And how amazing that they got to do that with you and they'll have their memories. Yeah. And you were so worried about them remembering stuff from before. Yeah. Which I don't think they will. I don't think they will. And I think we've been pedalled to the metal since then. And even like, I'm old school parent. I'm really strict. My kids have set bedtimes. There's no fucking about. You go to bed. That's it. That's your lot. I don't have no one sleeping in my bed. And listen, I'm going to have parents go, But I am freaking strict. They go to bed. They've never co-slept with me, ever. I'd never have a sex life otherwise. Jesus Christ. No, they've
gone to bed from the get-go. Even when they go to Nan's, they go, Remy loves her. She's like, she goes, Nana, can I just go to bed now? She don't want to go. 7 o'clock comes, she wants to just go to her bed.
Does she?
Yeah, they go to their bedrooms. Don't hear a peep out of them. Yeah, but like, and I'm old-fashioned that way. I set the boundaries. John, they'll ask, and then they'll go, like, because he's such, go say no to him. Say no, you're making divas. He goes, I can't. They go, one more game. I'm like, no, your dad's tired now. Everyone's going, and he goes, go on, then I'll go another game. I'm like, don't do it. You went, but there'll be a day they don't want me to play a game. Or at the weekend, they wanted to get me in the swimming pool for the 100th time. I went, let your dad have a rest now. He's been busy all day. And he goes, there'll be a day they don't want me to do it. I'm going to get in. Yeah. And then we have animals galore.
Have you?
Yeah, we've got chickens, we've got guinea pigs. I'm animal obsessed.
Are you?
But my girls, it's like they earn a few quid. They come out and clean the animals out with me.
Yeah.
I know they've got an iPad now, but it's a very rare thing. We go out as a family, we communicate, we play games. And do you know, we get so many people that come up to us in a restaurant and go, this is so lovely. My kids are not brats. And I do feel if your kids are brats, you've filled it to them. Like they are not brats. I could take my kids absolutely anywhere with me. The manners are impeccable. And that isn't about what you got in your bank or anything else.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, where we do live in Essex, there's so many people that have got really bratty kids. And I think, but you're throwing material at them. You're not actually speaking to them.
Yeah.
You're not actually communicating with your children.
Yeah.
You're not... You know,
that's sometimes a day and age now, ain't it? It's just easier.
We're big communicators in our house, and I'm not saying anything's tickety-boo. You know, like we do, people do have their ups and downs, or the kids will do silly things, and I go, right, well, why has that made you angry? Or why is that? Let's talk about it. Like we talk about situations. Communication is real key with the kids. We sit down and we go, right, what's the three best things of today? They'll say, or I'll go, right, when they're coming from school, what's the best thing about today? Or driving home, what's the best thing about today? And what's the worst? They never used to want to do a worst. I went, but you've got to. Life ain't all good. You've got to realise when things ain't so good. It might be she comes in, she goes, well, I lost at football today, or that one was being a bit nasty to me today. I went, it's really important that you know the highs and lows of life.
It's true.
So, you know, I'm just trying to be a good communicator with my kids, and I hope it goes a long way with it.
Definitely.
But bond as a family, and we do really like each other, and like they're like our little best mates. We have like a really happy little home. And I think that should hopefully erase when I weren't feeling my greatest. I feel like I've poured everything into me feeling good now and giving them the best. Yeah.
Amazing. And also you have been doing, is it the Rise and
Rave? Yeah. So I've got a few little things that I've been doing off... I think Rise and Rave come because I've got, you know, where I don't drink and I've got a lot of friends that are in recovery. It was another form of exercise. And not everyone wants to go to the gym. But again, where I'm passionate about movement of some sort, like we do a kitchen disco on a Friday. Everyone shouts a song name. And then we just have a kitchen disco. Like it's really naff, but the kids love it and we love it. And gets your steps up. And I just thought, do you know what? I'd seen other people doing them throughout the country and I thought, there's none in Essex. So I want to do this coffee rave once a month. Everyone comes together, you have your coffee or your juice, and you just dance to old school music. And it's just about the vibe. Most of the people, no one knows each other. And most people go, I don't know anyone though. And I'm like, it's so inclusive. You'll know people by the time you get here. And it's been a really good success. I've got my next one on the 20th of September.
I know, I need to book
You've got to come. You've got to come to it.
Richie Eames, haven't you?
Richie. I've got Richie.
He DJ'd at my wedding.
He's the best. That's
He's
why
so
I learned
good.
I'll do DJing with him.
Really?
Yeah, another side hustle. Like another string to my bow when I'm off season. I've got loads of time on my hands. Yeah, me and Remy are learning with him. So he's our DJ and he's amazing. Yeah, you've got to come and bring some friends. And like people brought their kids on the last one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so they had like a bit of a boogie and a bit of a dance. We took it outside at mine, and everyone went, we preferred it this venue than the last venue. Like the sun just come up. People were crying. They're like, oh my God, it's making me emotional. Yeah, we had a bongo guy, and he's going to come and do the next one. I've got a few sponsors that are going to gift us bits for the goodie bag. So I'm hoping it's going to grow. And just people they come out there. We always have like a prize for whoever's got the most steps. She's won it 2 times on the spin now, so everyone's starting to get a bit more I think people are a bit reserved on the first one. Second, they're like, we're going to get loose. I think it's going to go feral on the third. I feel everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm in the prize. So we got the Rise and Rave. But so it's ticking along really nice. And everyone just comes out there on a high. And they don't think it's activity. Again, I think I like to find niches to just get people moving. To just women, especially women, cut off for an hour. You go and dance for an hour, then go back and do the laundry.
Feel better, don't it?
Yeah.
And you've been doing the boot camps, haven't you?
Boot camp's been launched the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they're going from strength to strength.
Yeah.
I don't know why I doubt myself. When I start to do new bits, I think, shall I? I should have started this at the beginning of the year. And I sat on it because I kept thinking, no one will come. No one will come. And already building up such a lovely community. I've got people driving all the way over from Kent. I've got people that are doing an hour journey to come over.
Really?
And then they're loving it.
Yeah. One of my friends, actually, she said that she see one of her friends and she said, oh, you look really well. What you been doing? And she said that she's been coming to your boot camp.
Yeah, no, it does. And it is like that outdoor training. And then again, you always get some Debbie Downers. Oh, when the weather gets shit, though. And I think, well, we're waterproof. We're like ducks. It's not going to bloody melt. You just stick another layer on.
Yeah.
If anything, it is a bit too hot at the moment. So I think, like, come the winter, we'll just stick another layer on. We've got a little roof there anyway, and then we'll just move a bit quicker. We'll
make you move a bit quicker.
We'll make you move a bit quicker. Yeah, well, that's it. If you have me behind you, But no, so it's all coming good. I do the online coaching's global. My clientele is built. I think mainly the 40s and over market. Because they're like, I just want a bit of how you are. Yeah. And every morning I get up and my coffee in my kitchen, the hair's like that. Dog might have pissed on the mat. You know, like I think I do show women that it ain't all perfect.
No.
But we just got to move every day.
That is life.
That is life. And it will, you know, people might go, oh, I've got a wedding this week or that. And I'm like, but that's just life. Life's not linear, but you can still control what you're eating, hand to mouth, and just move. All right, you might not be able to get to the gym that day. Just go and do a walk up, just go up and down your stairs 20 times. Yeah. I'll find a way to get people moving, no matter what their budgets or what their situation is. And it's, my clientele's grown so much over 2 years. But even now, it's like that Love Island, even when I see people, they send their phone for, I'm like, oh my God, I've got another one that's joined up. Really? I don't know why I still get shocked when they come through. I'm like, oh, and another one, and oh my God, this one's from New York, and this one's from Mexico, and I've got one in Iran, and it's mad. Yeah. And I'm like, why do you want this girl from Britain? And they're like, because you're just so relatable, which I still find quite wild. So
no, you are, and that's what most people want nowadays.
Yeah, there's no smoke and mirrors, and I think because people see me all the time, I'm not face tuning or editing my photos. It is what it is. You see me in off season, you see me in scrawny season when I'm showing, and everything else in between. Yeah, and I just show up every day, even when it is good and when it is not great. Yeah, that's just life.
Yeah. So just to round up, if you could sit next to you in your lowest point when you was obviously going through the postnatal depression and everything like that, what would you tell yourself?
I wish I'd said to myself then, there is a way that you can help yourself. I think I feel sorry for that person so bad. That's why I feel like I'm pedal to the metal now. I think I would just say it is going to get better. And you are going to find a way out of it. And you're not only going to find a way out of it, you're going to find a way that's actually going to inspire people. And that still really humbles me. That really humbles me. Like, I never realised the breaking point is actually my USP. And now I'm like, I was bitter for losing the 6 years with the kids. But now I'm like, I can't keep crying over spilt milk. I've lived a million lives since then. Yeah. Like a million lives since then. Yeah. So I would just say, just keep going. Yeah. And there is help. Don't be frightened to say it out loud, actually, how you're feeling. I think so many people bottle it up because they don't want to be judged. Mental health has got such a bad stigma. Suicide rates are through the roof. And when, people are standing there and they're like, oh, my God, this person's done that to themselves. If they'd have only said, yeah, but do you know what? Even sometimes, even when I was doing a bit of a cry for help, I'd have people go, cheer up, come, oh, you're a bit depressing at the minute. Or they'd swerve you because they knew you were being depressive. It's still got that very much big stigma there. So I think I would just say, I'd say get health advice, but it wasn't even health advice. I'd just probably have said to myself, you just need to sort out the basics. Just need to move every day. You just need to sort out your diet. Stop eating all the processed shit. Stop pumping yourself full of the antidepressants.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You're doing amazing and you look absolutely amazing. I can't believe you're nearly 47.
I know, only 3 weeks to go. And I've not had Botox for months. It's actually really humbling not having it done.
Well, I hope I look like you when I'm 47.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you again.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been brilliant. And emotional, so I'm so sorry for the tiny... I hope you edit all them crying scenes out.